สวัสดีครับทุกคน Hello everyone, my name is Top Jirayut. I am usually nice to meet you guys today. Usually I am a blockchain speaker, but today I have 10 minutes to share with you my personal story. So I've been in the blockchain space for about 6 years now, but usually I am back then I was a very naughty boy. I usually get into fights at school. During my primary school, I always get into trouble. So bad that, my parents sent me to New Zealand. When I went to New Zealand for my high school, I also didn't focus on my study. I was focusing on playing football. I wanted to be a footballer, back then. Then, until I finished my high school, then I realized that I could not get into any of the Thai universities. It was so bad. And because I liked football, I decided to also apply to England. And luckily, Manchester University accepted me as a student. And then that's when I realized that, for the first time in my life, I need to focus on my study. So, when I was choosing my university during my high school, the UCAS system allows us to choose at least 5 options, right? And I was always looking on the top universities, but I could not pick them because my grade was so bad. So that left like a mark on my heart. So when I started my university, that was on the first day of uni. That was the first time that I got into the library for the first time to start focus on my study. Then I sacrificed a lot. I studied so hard. And during Christmas, I was the only one in the library when all the kids went home. I was the only Asian kids in the library. And then after 3 years, then I was so surprised that I ended up, graduating first out of everyone from the whole of the university. And I finally got into Oxford. And, just like normal, I was reading economics at school, at Oxford. And like normal economics kids, after graduation, I decided to apply for investment banking in Shanghai because China was booming back then when I graduated. And that was when I was finding myself what I liked, what I want to do in the future for my career. Then I was working in a very small boutique firm, and that's when I discovered Bitcoin in 2013 when the price went up to $1,000. And then, most people, I remember talking to my friends, my office friends. Do you know this thing called Bitcoin? The price went up to $1,000. Then no one's really, go back and actually do some more research. But I was interested, I went back and read up more and more about Bitcoin. And that job didn't last. It lasted 2 months. I hated corporate jobs. I was finding out about myself. So I decided to quit the job and I gave myself another chance. I flew to San Francisco to work as a financial consultant because I wanted to work in Silicon Valley, but with economic skill, I cannot get a job at Silicon Valley. So I was working as a financial consultant. And after only a few weeks, consulting was like a research work. I had enough research work at school, right? So I decided to buy a ticket back home and started the first company. Back in Thailand called coins.co.th. And, back then my parents were very, very stressed because they sent me all the way to Oxford. They had a very high expectation of me. And they told me, Top, look at your friends. They went and worked for BCG, McKinsey, really high, huge paychecks. What are you doing with your laptop sitting at home alone, creating a company called coins.co.th? Right back then. So they were very disappointed actually, for sending me all the way to school. This was me in my spare room at home, creating my first company, right? Buying and selling Bitcoin and trying to create the first company. After a few months into the first company, the Bank of Thailand issued a letter, big announcement saying that, Bitcoin could be a Ponzi scheme. The value could go to zero very quickly. Don't go anywhere near it. My dad especially was really angry. Like, who would you believe, right? Your son recently graduated or the Bank of Thailand, right? So I had to prove myself because, during, Shanghai time, I read a blog called Why Bitcoin Matters, written by Mark Anderson. This guy changes the world, right? 20 years ago. He was the first guy who discovered cloud computing, browser, right? And in 2013, he said cryptocurrency is the next big thing, the most disruptive thing. So I had to prove myself. And I couldn't hire anyone because I was a kid. My first 2 employees were my 2 cousins. You know. So after we grew, we gradually grow as the industry grew. And until we got up to about 10 people, then the anti-money laundering officers sent us the letter. My parents went crazy. Top, you better shut this company now and go and work for, get some high salary, or you want to go to jail. Like this, you can choose anything with your degree. But you decided to launder money at home. Are you crazy? This is what my dad said, right? And I was really stressed. I could not sleep because I had to go and actually talk to the anti-money laundering officers about our AML, KYC. Those things you did not learn at school, right? So I sleep a lot of sleepless night. Then after that crisis, the Bank of Thailand also sent me a letter. Top, are you creating a competing currency? What is this Bitcoin thing? So I had to go and explain to the Bank of Thailand as well what the potential of Bitcoin and the blockchain technology. So and then what's worse is that after the Bank of Thailand crisis, the Revenue Department actually visited our office and audited all our books. We were like in the gray spot. Not every companies that the RD go and visit, right? But I have very good relationships with all the regulators in Thailand right now. So I had to actually educate the Thai Revenue Department what Bitcoin is, how do you tax it, how our business works. And finally, this is when it's like a huge rock thrown away from my chest. Big relief. Japan on the 1st of April, Japan announced that Bitcoin is legal. Right, it's a legal tender. You can use Bitcoin instead of Japanese yen. Then this is when Bitcoin. This is when people realize that Bitcoin is not a Ponzi scheme. It's not money laundering. It's not toy money, dirty money. It's not. Right? It's one of the most disruptive technology of our era. Education finally catches up. And most people, after that, went and said, "Top, I can't believe you went through all those." I would have given up, on the first day that the money laundering officer sent us the letter, right? And during all those crises, by the way, those who didn't believe in the vision, especially the employees, gradually left the company. But luckily, we grew until the company is quite big. I exited at the end of 2016. Eventually, the company got a company called Gojek, took over our group. And now I created a new company called BitCup. We are one of the 3 licensed cryptocurrency exchange in the world. It took us 2 years to work closely with the Thai regulators. So from this talk, I have 2 minutes left. I want to share with you that you should stick to your vision. Don't let outer noise alter your vision. If most of the people agree with your vision, actually don't do that thing. You have to do something that most people don't agree with your vision, right? You have to find, somewhere that, your particular life path lead you to see the important truth that most people, very least people agree with you on, right? That, you must be the minority that is right when the majority is wrong. I was in a very small group of people that was right when most of the people thought Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme. That created huge opportunity for me. Right? So you must have to try to connect your dot backwards with your particular life path to make sure that you discover your most important truth that very least people agree with you on, but it is an important truth. So I had to prove myself to my friends, prove myself to my employees, prove myself to regulators. It's been a very tough journey, but it paid off, right? Actually, I've been spoken to over 500 stages, in the past, 2 or 3 years. And I'm only 29, so I'm very happy with that achievement so far because of the opportunity presented. And with my company, we recently raised the largest seed round in the startup of Thai history. So I was very lucky. So I would share the experience would be nothing worth having is easy to achieve. Don't let outer noise alter your vision. You have to stick through it. But the most important thing is that you must have to first discover your important truth. So right now I'm very lucky because with this company, recently, yesterday, the competitor is shutting down the operation. I'm not sure if you heard the news. And, right now we're signing up about, new customers, a size of a football field every day with BitCup. And we're on our way to be one of the, leading Thai fintech company in Thailand. So please, make sure you stick to your vision. Don't give up. Thank you very much.